Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to take a moment to do an update about Lucas, WayV or NCT Lucas. I know he is part of many NCT units, so and also he's part of SuperM. So I had been thinking about doing this reading for a while now, especially since he is in hiatus, so I always try to remain respectful and know my boundaries when it comes to reading for idols that are on hiatus, because somehow their situation or the reasons why they are in hiatus, it's actually like a period for them to reflect on what was the reason. But in this case, I asked for some very loving fans that were able to actually give me a feedback about this, and I feel a bit like I feel more reassured and comfortable, because I think that also there are a lot of fans that also want to know how he's doing. They are really worried about him, not so much about knowing, the situation or what's going on with that specific matter. That I try not to go too deep into that, but I have to read the tarot the way I see it. So if in the reading I see something that it has to do with this matter, I will express it in a very respectful way. But at the same time, if I don't get anything like from this matter, it's because I'm not allowed to know. We are not allowed to know. So please don't ask like for more information or for like, oh, can you ask about this? Can you ask? No, this is all I'm going to do for Lucas. I already I have like Palo Santo here next to me. I sage the place because I can feel like a very high energies around him, very heavy energies. And I think that if I have to be honest and talk to you about how I feel reading for him, I don't think that the issue is him. I think that it's not about this matter, this scandal, these allegations, all this stuff. It's more about other people taking this opportunity to actually make other decisions about Lucas. So I don't know how to express it, but I think that it has to do with some people in the company that actually they had like a hidden agenda with Lucas, and I think that they are taking advantage of this opportunity. I think that it goes beyond this scandal, it goes beyond whether there's proof or not. I think that there's something here that I cannot I cannot express it, because it's a very vague feeling, but it's much more than this. And it's like their opportunities to keep Lucas silent, or to keep Lucas on the side, something like that, and they are taking benefits from it. So I don't know what's going on in there. So I'm going to do a small resume for my previous reading for Lucas and about these allegations when they came up. I'm not an NCT fan. I'm going to make this clarification so you can. I'm just a tarot reader. I mean, I am a multi-fandom. I like K-pop, but I do not know much about their lives and stuff. So this is why I always need the fans' feedback so they can let me know what's going on. Whether I'm getting it correctly or not. So when I read for this, that then I had to put that video on private because there were a lot of people having mixed feelings and opinions about this, and I just, like I mentioned in my other videos, I don't want my community or people that are part of my community actually to get like this vibe of uh, like very heavy energy. Especially, I'm not here defending the male in the situation, or I'm not defending a famous person or an idol. I'm just stating what I see like a tarot reader, and I try to be as professional as possible. But if I see that actually there was this presence of this female that was really close to him because she was represented by this Queen of Cups. She came out first, and then he came out like the King of Pentacles, and it was funny because actually they were like facing the other way from each other. They were like turning each other's backs, especially in the case of um, of Lucas. He was looking more at his finances and more like his work. He's actually not invested in this. And I remember that what I said is that he didn't promise this person anything related to emotional connection or something like this. Because I felt that she was very emotional. She was like, in the picture of the Queen of Cups, you can see a person like staring at her cup that is full of love, full of a lot of loving feelings and emotions, and feeling really attached and very emotional to these feelings. But then I realized that maybe it wasn't that they had a connection to begin with, but in the mind of this female, she actually thought they were in a relationship. So when I did this interpretation, I was like, okay, this female, I was like, there's one of them, one of the people that did this, that she really had a connection. She really thought she had a connection with him. And then I came across some news that actually was as a sang. So then I got that actually what her energy was showing me is that it was all in her head. She was this emotionally invested in her love for Lucas. So she took it a way too like too far, when it comes to intensity. And in the case of him, I looked him like very detached because actually he was looking at his pentacles. He was represented as this King of Pentacles. That pentacles represent Earth. Let's remember that Lucas is an Aquarius, but he has a moon in Taurus. So he is someone that he is very concentrated in money and finances and having a good life and working really hard to be having some stability in his life. He's very work orientated. Like, I'm not going to mention about his dating life or whatever, but he's someone that he puts his career first. He's not someone that he is an idol because his parents forced him to become an idol. He's an idol because he wants to be famous. He enjoys to be famous. So it was a very disparate energy between the two of them. She was very emotionally invested, and he was like looking at his next project and all these deals that he had available for him. He was looking at ways of making money, actually, to be honest. But oh well, then what I did make clear is that he never promised that person that he would be in a relationship or something like that. So I think that probably this fan, I don't know if she had ever met Lucas in a fan sign or something like that, where she kind of asked him like some kind of flirtatious question or asked him to act as if he was her boyfriend. So he was like, maybe he said like a very flattering word, or maybe he was like, oh yes, I will always love you, thank you for loving me, or something like that. He was acting like a boyfriend in that interaction. You know that idols do this in fan signs. They do exchange a very like a sort of role play, like it's fan service. But I think that in her case, she took it literally. And then maybe I felt like she got stuck in the past, because ever since she had that kind of interaction with him, she got even more obsessed. It was like an adrenaline rush. She needed to get closer to him again. And since she couldn't make it, or she couldn't get what she wanted, this is where her mind started to rush, and she started to think about other ways. Started to think negatively about herself and about Lucas, and to be angry at Lucas, because I felt like there was a lot of resentment. And actually, guys, to be honest, I see a lot of this kind of duality, or this kind of love-hate feeling in a lot of fans. It's not only on the Sasangs. I don't know if maybe these people is unstable emotionally, and they hold on too tight to this kind of fantasy that K-pop provides. But there are a lot of people that if you just have to wait and see when a scandals or a dating rumor comes out, you will truly see who is who, and you will see what their real intentions are. There are people that actually have a lot of negative emotions towards their idol, in the sense that they have like some kind of jealousy and envy for their idols, especially when they see that their idols are like accomplishing a lot in their personal lives, and they feel like left out of that. They are like, oh, okay, now that you don't need us, now that you have a girlfriend or a boyfriend or whatever, you don't need us, so you are playing with me, like they get really offended. So I think that we need to watch out for these people, because they are capable, in their darkest moments, they are capable of hurting themselves, hurting the artist, and hurting other fans as well. So I'm not going to talk more. I just made a very prolonged intro. I'm sorry. I'm going to start with the reading. So starting off, we have the Strength card. We have the Emperor, the Five of Pentacles, the Tower, the Knight of Swords in reversed. And then I pulled an extra card from the Oracle of the Angels that it says, there's no need for you to worry. So let's start with the Strength card. That actually it's funny. Actually, it's not funny. It's not a coincidence. This is how tarot works sometimes. The Strength card was in his reading. I believe that it was one of the last cards that came up. And I took it that actually he was a very brave person, and that he would, like, even though he was really sad about what was going on, that he would get strength out of faith and out of his own persona. He would remain strong to face everything. And actually, I do see him like being supported by the company. I feel like I mentioned, I believe it was him, the one that I mentioned, that when I did the first reading for him in my channel, that I believe that one is available, I mentioned that I think it was him, that he was like someone's favorite, probably like the CEO or some of the higher ups really like Lucas. They really admire him. They really have a good relationship with Lucas. And I think that this emperor here represents the CEO or the head of the company, being very supportive of him and giving him strength and making sure that he doesn't lose his temper or his patience. Because I think that even though Lucas is remaining strong, at the same time, he's also like very impatient. He's also very angry. It's like he comes and goes, when it comes to his emotional self. He feels very agitated. He feels very angry. I sense a lot of anger here. And then there comes a moment of feeling really like he has nothing, like he has lost something. I don't know if maybe he was involved. I know that they were supposed to release a song, and I think that he was really looking forward to that, and now he feels like he lost everything. So probably because of this that happened, actually he lost a lot of opportunities. So this is why he's feeling so down. He has these moments where he doesn't listen to anyone. I mean, in the sense that he can have a lot of people around him being like, okay, don't worry, be patient, we will fix this for you. But at the same time, he feels like he has nothing left. He feels a bit discouraged. I'm not going to lie. I think that he tried to remain strong for a few weeks, and he tried to not let it show how much it affected him. But actually, he does feel like he lost something, like he is like an outcast, like somehow that his image has been like tainted, that has been damaged, that his reputation has been damaged. So he is not in a good place emotionally. And also, I think that Lucas is someone that always tries to remain optimistic no matter what. I think that he has a great sense of humor, but in this period of his life, he doesn't find anything funny anymore. It's like, I think that the beginning he tried to be like understanding of why things happen the way they do, but then now that time is passing by, he's like feeling really down, like he's not that optimistic. Especially because here we have the tower. That the tower is a card that also lets you know that things are not going to be the same. And this is something that I see here that I don't know what is it, but the tower is where the stability that you once knew is no longer, and it's about like when things start to fall apart. It's like the beginning of the end. And then we have like the last tarot card, it's the Knight of Swords. So I think that it has to do with the fact that he wants to defend himself and he cannot do it. Probably he had been advised to stay on hiatus longer or to not do anything, to remain silent, to remain in this like silent mode. And he is not the guy that he is used to be that way. This is why I think that for him, this is like a tower moment. This is a moment of a breakdown for him emotionally. Because it seems like everything is falling apart in his life. And actually, probably it's just his perception because he cannot take action. He's been advised not to. So I think that this frustrates him the most. This frustrates him the most. This makes him feel powerless. And we also have to be understanding about his way of feeling things. Like, I'm not trying to be like dramatic here or bringing bad news, because actually this is what is showing me his energy right now. This doesn't mean that he is going to stay in this energy like until the year ends. Actually, I see him like having this energy, for example, for 1 or 2 weeks until new events developed. But there's like a sense of impatience in him. He's not the kind of person that he's used to be on a pause. He's very hyperactive. He has a lot of ideas. He has a lot of plans. He has a lot of willpower. He has a lot of like energy. So he's a guy that he just goes to work. He gets the job done. So for him to be in a hiatus, it's like a torment, almost mentally. Of course, like I mentioned in the beginning, someone of the higher ups that really loves and is very protective of Lucas, because this person also knows the value of Lucas, because they know that Lucas is almost like this ace. He's the guy that can pull off any concept. He is the guy that never says no to try new things. He's a very flexible artist. So, but at the same time, they are working on something. Like I said, I know that probably he thought he would be done with this hiatus, like, I don't know, like at a certain period, and actually they prolong it, or they decided to make it longer. And he is a bit upset about this because he feels it like almost like an attack to his person. He feels like this is personal. So this actually like I'm going to clarify here. What I'm reading is his energy, his experience, his perception. I'm not saying that this is what's going on with him. This is his perception from his own frustration, from his own feeling of sensing himself claustrophobic almost and paranoid. He is like having a lot of fears. So probably he does feel that he's been left out, or that people are like trying to get him out of the group, for example, or they are like preventing him from working, when actually this is part of the legal process. They are probably working on like some kind of legal processes, but to defend him, to defend his image, to make the responsibles pay. But at the same time, we have to take into consideration that SM actually, and whenever I read for SM artists and YG artists, is the same. I've been reading for SM artists for a few months now, and all the cards that came out are all about justice. So I think that SM is going through some kind of legal battles, or they are going to be, and they have a lot of things to solve when it comes to legal matters. There's also a lot of dirty laundry that is going to come out, that it doesn't have to do with Lucas. It has to do with other kinds of managements. So I think that this is why things are taking longer to actually have like some kind of resolution for Lucas. And probably he does feel like people are not working hard enough to actually get him out of hiatus. But it's his own desperation. We have to understand that this is how he feels. This is not a comfortable situation for him. Probably he's feeling really irritated and angry at everyone. So we have to understand that this is the energy that he has today. It's not that the whole world is against him, or that SM is against him. There's nothing like that. It's just his perception of the situation. He's really angry. And we have to also be like realistic when it comes to companies. Companies, especially the most famous ones, they always have like this kind of very disorganized kind of way of doing things. So it also depends a lot about how the fandom moves to make something happen. Sometimes the fandom does require some answers or some actions. They do like pressure the company to get something done, because sometimes they do not do it. They are like, okay, we will it's like when you have like a complaint and you go to HR and they are like, oh yes, we will manage this, we will take care of this, and they do not ever do it. It's just like that. But then the the card that came out from the oracle is there's no need for you to worry. I hope I'm like translating this right, because it's in Spanish. But when I pulled this card, I was like really. These cards, this oracle from the angels are new, are brand new. I use them in my sessions with other clients, but they do have like very short and brief answers. But they are very enlightening. They have like a certain like magical aspect to it, and I found it very reassuring and very sweet that the message is there's no need for you to worry. And I think that this is something for the fans, and this is also for Lucas. I think that we people that are waiting for a resolution, they need to be patient, because and you need to be patient, and you also need to trust your artist, and you also need to trust karma at the same time, because I think that a lot of things are going to come out of this. Like I mentioned, there was like some kind of complot against Lucas' image, because I think that there are a lot of people here that are actually benefiting themselves from the fact that Lucas is in hiatus. So I don't know if maybe Lucas was like some kind of threat for other people, or maybe other people didn't like Lucas because of his popularity. I don't know about that. But I think that there are a lot of people that are like really silently like being really happy that he's in hiatus, so I don't know what's that about. Maybe it's rivalry, maybe it's competition, maybe it's but there are people that but I don't say thank God, but since I see the support of this very influential person, I'm happy, because actually this person is not fond of Lucas because Lucas is a pretty face. Is fond of Lucas because Lucas is very hardworking guy. Actually, he gets the job done. And sometimes this person recognizes dedication and professionalism. It's like he's not going to judge you if you want to live a normal 20-something life. If you want to go out with your friends and have a drink, if you want to go out with your friends and smoke, this CEO or this higher up is going to let Lucas live his life like a normal person. He's not going to be moralistic about anything. But at the same time, he does have a huge respect that actually when Lucas has to do his part, he's always ready. And he's very stable. And he's always there. And he has like this inner confidence. He always shines. I believe that all NCT and all these units, they all have this great charisma about them. Like they have this inner confidence, that makes them stand out from other idols. Sometimes other idols need their group to make them shine. And actually, in this case, these specific idols, they have their own charisma, they have their own powerful self, or their own stage presence, or even their names. When I say Lucas' name, I definitely sense a very strong, confident person. It's just that, and this is why I think that it would be I'm saying this from an energetic and from my own perception and intuition. when I pick his energy, I sense that he's a very hardworking and he's very like orientated to making money and to be successful in what he does in his profession. So I don't think, even though he's really young, I don't think this guy would compromise everything that he had achieved professionally for this kind of interaction with a female or with whoever it is. I don't see him being that reckless. I sense that he takes his time to observe the whole situation, and if he's interested in someone, he will observe that person. I mean, I believe all idols must do this if they are interested in someone. It's like you are not going to just talk to a random person and be like, oh yes, in my free time I'm an idol and I have a lot of fans, but I just want to get to know you because I like you. It's not like that. They are very observant, and in the case of Lucas, I think that he's someone that he's so used to getting good results that he wants to keep providing good results. He wants to live a good life. He wants to be prosperous. He doesn't like to lose. So this is why this impasse, this hiatus is so hard on him. But he will be all right, and just take the advice from this angelic oracle card that I took for the fans. Just do not worry. Just be patient. Just wait for the for the official for the official sources to get some kind of confirmation. Don't just engage into consuming toxic conspiracies, because sometimes people do have a lot of free times in their hands to say really nasty things or to write really nasty comments. So don't feed on to that. And at the same time, it's funny because the people that criticize idols that are in hiatus is really funny, because then when it happens to them, which eventually it can happen to a lot of idols in the future, I definitely can see this. It's like then when it happens to their favorites, then they cannot take it. Instead of being supportive of the fans that are having a hard time, like having their idol being involved in this kind of situation. So we always have to be respectful, because yes, we do not know the truth behind everything, but at the same time, a lot of fans were really heartbroken. A lot of them were really affected, and I cannot imagine Lucas' family, his friends, and all the people around him, his teammates, everyone. Of course, that they have to keep working, they have to keep providing, because it's their profession. But it does hurt a bit, it does affect people. So let's be respectful and let's wait for some news about this subject. So I hope I can contribute to this, and actually, like, if you are a fan of him, make you feel better. Please, I don't want a tarot reading or an interpretation to actually get you worried, or that you leave this video feeling with a heavy heart. No, I just want you to be realistic, like really be able to take your own conclusions. If this reading doesn't resonate with you, just leave it. Just don't take it. Just take what's good for your soul. Just connect with your own intuition. And if you want to share it with me in the comment sections, I always read you. So thank you so much, guys, for being here. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.